Right, Tyson, what's good, brother?
What's going on, man?
It's going great, man. It's going great. So, man, like Tyson, look, you had a record month, $23,000 in sales and online coaching sales.
Mm.
You're a machine. You've been absolutely crushing it. So, for the people that are watching this, right, like, let the audience know like who you are and what you do and how long you've been a coach for.
Right on, man. Well, my name is Tyson. I've been an online coach for 7 years total. But I started out in weight loss, and that's how I got like my entry ticket into online coaching. And I did that for about 6 years until I didn't love it anymore. And
Mm,
so at that point, I pivoted. And what I help people now with is I help coaches and business owners manifest 10 to 15K months in their
mm.
business. And so it's a really unique approach. And I'm not a business coach because it's all about their state of being. And so that's how I help people in the world now.
Amazing, amazing. Like, yeah, Tyson. So, like, take them through your journey in the sense of, like, from when you and I started working together a few months ago to that version you are now, right? It's like you are a completely different person than when I met months ago. You're completely different, right? So like take us through like that beginning stages to where you were like, I think you were like, yeah, you were starting at like zero, like you didn't have like or like have like you didn't have really a consistent income, and to where you're at now. Take us through that journey.
Yeah, so I had never had consistent income as a coach. And early on in my business, just to give you guys context, like my first 5 or 6 months in business, I hit 10K in 45 days. And I would say like I didn't know what I was doing, right? And then a year later I hit a 20K. And so, but then there was massive
Mm,
gaps, and there was no consistency ever. And yeah, I was posting and I was showing up, but there was some foundations that I was missing that I didn't understand before coming and coaching with AJ. And that was, him and I started coaching together about 6 months ago. And he taught me what I believe are the absolute true foundations of coaching and online business, things I wasn't doing. And that is a part that has helped create the highest, most consistent cash months I've ever had.
yeah, amazing, amazing. And what would you say those principles were?
Okay. So it really doesn't even have to do with posting every day, which I thought was a strategy. Just post and put stories. But I did that for 6 years. Like, what did it create? The same income that I was not happy with, right? That didn't allow me to at times live the lifestyle I wanted, but didn't because I would have these huge fluctuations, right? And so, um, first of all, it's if you're from 0 to 10K, you're gonna have to spend time in the DMs. And that was something I thought I was quote unquote kind of too good for. I didn't understand. I didn't understand what reach outs were. I didn't understand the what and how you needed to play the DM game. And I'm not saying playing people. I'm just saying truly operate in the DM. That was one of the first things that like started to help me level up in the program.
Mm. Yeah, like just for like like a little elaboration for people that are watching this. Like, yeah, like if you're at that 0 to 10K mark, it's like for me, I've always looked at it's like it's like a dog fight. You're just like you're in there, you're it's the grind, like you're chatting with people, you're conversating with people, and like a lot of coaches, they stay away from the DMs, right? They just stay away, like they expect them to just make posts and then all these leads magically just to yeah, I'm interested in coaching, and that's not the way it really works. So basically, for you, Tyson, it's like you're coming across, you're coming out of like a $22,000 a month, absolutely amazing, right? So like, what would you say right now to the version of Tyson when you first started to now? Like, what would this version of Tyson give that version of Tyson that was just starting?
Dude, first off, I would tell him you're not too good to be in the DMs because that is where you need to be. Number one. Number two is that your emotions are sabotaging you.
Mm,
They're sabotaging you, man. And it doesn't matter if you're positive. It doesn't fucking matter. Because obviously this is something I coach my clients in. It's like all these like, oh, I feel down. Oh, fuck, why isn't it happening? Oh my God, I wish I could be doing. Oh my, like all those things, those are blocking you. People talk about money blocks. No, you're not bad with money. It's just the emotional game. And I don't mean crying. I just mean the way you're interpreting the L's, the way you're interpreting people not reaching out, the way you're interpreting your business. It's like you've got to let, like, that is how I have leveled up. That's been a massive part of the game on like what we'll call the strategic piece. Now, obviously, AJ teaches the DM game, something I had never seen, something that I had put into practice. Can I tell them how many DMs and reap? Dude, I think at this point, right? I started like I truly got serious about the DM game. Okay. In September, I've sent over 5,000 for fucking sure. 100%. 100%. And here's the thing, like, and AJ will tell you, and this is very important for anybody's business. Like the way AJ is, ain't nobody else like him. The way I am, nobody else is like me. Meaning he will give you the prompts and what to do and what to say, but dude, make it your own.
Mm,
Because after a few thousand, then I finally started to morph and make it my own, right? I started to do things a little bit differently because I had got my reps in. And then I started doing things that were comfortable for me and the person that I am.
yeah.
And that AJ obviously has his style and what's comfortable for him because we're
Yep.
two very different people. And so, anyways, that has helped me. And it's an ever-changing game. Like I'm changing up my DMs, not every day, right? But maybe I'll go for a month in a certain style. And then I'm like, oh, this feels a little bit better. So I go that way. Like it's kind of all a test.
Love it, man. And like Tyson, what would you say your relationship now in the DMs is compared to where it was when you first started?
Easy. Like,
Mm.
dude, I was so resistant in the past. And still the resistance comes up like, oh, what am I going to tell this person? Because obviously I want it to convert. I want it to go somewhere, right? That's still there. But dude, I was avoiding it for so long because I was unsure of what to say, right?
Mm.
And now I know what to say and I know my sequence and what I'm going to do and how I'm going to follow up and when I'm going to follow up. And dude, I just have the confidence in the DM. Like you could probably post less.
Mm.
I'm not telling you to, but dude, now I see it from the other side. The posting, this, yeah, it's great, but dude, you gotta be in the fucking DM.
Yep. Facts. It's all. I staying quiet because yeah, you're preaching to the choir on that one. I absolutely agree. Like you've been like for Tyson, like every coach that I work with is different, right? And Tyson now is like developing. I call it like that grit, and this is like now he's in the DMs. You're like
Mhm.
becoming a DM assassin because that's more
Mhm.
that's like extremely important. Like having conversations with people, right? Because if you're a coach and you're watching this and you're not engaging in a conversation every day, that's why you're not making money, right? If you're just relying on posting content, that's why you're gonna struggle. So like Tyson, you're in the DMs, you're getting calls booked, right? Now what I do want to
Mhm.
ask is because a lot of coaches they shy away from this next stage that I mentioned to you, which I think will be good for you to highlight it, right? Is cool. You get them on your calendar. Now it's a sales call. Now it's like now you gotta sell, you gotta overcome objections. That's the next part,
Yeah.
right? Because getting
Yeah.
them on your calendar is one thing, but now you
Mhm.
making the sales a whole completely different thing. So take us through the process that you learned working with us on basically how to sell, how to overcome objections. Like where are things that you learned, and maybe also to how to unlearn.
Yeah, man. So the sales calls process has always been, I haven't felt fully comfortable when it came time for the objection. I could lead people through the call,
Yeah.
but I was very uncertain if I could even close. And this was 6 years, right? It didn't matter. People cry on the fucking phone. And I'd be like, oh, dude, they're going to say, no, fuck no. They'd find some way to get out of it, right? But you know what? That anger you're hearing inside, the frustration actually, I'm frustrated. I was frustrated with myself because I was the one who let him go. And obviously, and with AJ, and obviously he's got an assistant coach in there who's amazing at it too. I got to give props to Nick because Nick helped me a lot as well. Get comfortable with the objections.
Mhm.
Also, obviously, you guys give us a script and it's unique, but also it's like number one, sticking to it. Okay. There were many times in the past I didn't, I stuck with the script, but maybe I veered off and da 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 da. But dude, when it comes to the objections, that's where you guys help me get a lot more comfortable,
Yeah.
truly, to the point where like I'm much more confident now. And like I know I can handle and hang, right? And if the person just absolutely just keeps like, no, 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 it's okay. You know what? Then just fine. I mean, you're just not for me.
Yeah.
What can I say? I can't say anything more. So, anyways, yeah, it's that.
Yeah, I tell coaches, right, like the call length usually when you have with the client is, I'm sorry, with a potential client is anywhere from like maybe 35 minutes, an hour. That's usually the sweet spot, right?
Mm,
But
mm,
like literally the call, the whole time can be lost. Like the whole call can be lost off of you just not countering one objection. It's like the I need to think about it, right?
yeah.
Or is it a fear? Is it a money objection, right? It's like these are things that coaches like this is why working with us is like I instill like this like I tell coaches like when I sign them up when I chat with them, it's like, hey, like my job is I want to make you a sales demon. Like I got to, right? Because I know it's like if when I do my job right and I get you a bunch of leads, if I don't teach you how to sell, it doesn't matter. You can be a great marketer, but if you're a crappy salesman, you're not gonna have
Mm,
$23,000 a month. You're not, right? So here you are now you're getting better at overcoming objections. So my final couple of questions is throughout these whole months working with us, right? If there was like a little other things, other tidbits that you can give to people that maybe you had to unlearn, where you had a belief where you're like, oh, this is how to get clients, and then started to work with us, you're like, oh no, I was actually dead wrong about that.
yeah. I mean, I got to go back to the DM because I was posting and praying basically. That's it. Posting. Like, and you guys showed me that's the true foundation. Like 0 to 10K, you got to be in the DM, man. You've got to be in the DMs. There's just, to me now, I've had many coaches, many business coaches, and they're great business coaches, right? Over the years. But who is the one who has taught me this foundation that I did not get from all the others and no blame upon them is you. So now, okay, because I've been in the game 7 years, enough to see what worked for me and what didn't work. I had a lot of years
Mm.
of things that didn't work. So now I see and now I know. And so, like, if I was to turn around and become a business coach tomorrow, which I'm not, I would be like, dude, you got to be in the DM.
Yeah.
Number one. And number two, you got to move faster. Um, I can't say I move the fastest, but you gotta move. And that's the one thing like I can see in AJ is he just has this relentlessness of just moving and going. And I'm sure there's times, even though he may not admit it, that he feels uncomfortable or unsure or whatever, but he's moving forward. And I could just tell in that. And that's really important. But that, he fully trusts in his system. And then obviously that makes me trust in it. And then after you do enough reps, then you can do your like, hey, add different words, send a different video, send
Yeah.
that or whatever it is. Like, and that's what I ended up doing. And something that works for me and it converts because it brings people on sales calls that I have tons of conversations in the DMs, like sometimes a lot. And you're just like, oh my God, right? And I never had that before.
Sweet,
So
man.
I'm grateful for it, man.
Oh, that's awesome. Absolutely love that. And Tyson, you're absolutely killing it. And the last question I have for you is, to the coach that's watching this right now, who's like struggling, who's on that flywheel to where they're not getting clients, like they're a good coach. Like, I've said this a lot, right? It's like I have never met a coach stop being a coach because their inability to coach somebody. It is always because they struggle getting clients. It's always that. I've
Mhm,
I've always seen that
mhm.
throughout my years. I've never met a coach that failed, right, with that method. So my question to you specifically is, what would you tell that coach that's struggling right now? that basically that needs to get the ball rolling, that's been struggling for years or even months, whatever it is, and they just feel like, man, things are not clicking. What advice would you give them now?
You know, man, I know it can be very frustrating because I mean, I've been in the game for 7 years, and for many of those years, it was very up and down. Um, if you know in your heart, and by me saying this, you'll know it or not, that you're meant for this, but it's just fear behind you, keep going, number one, and seek the help. I
Mm,
mean, truly, it's, but don't come at it from a place of looking for somebody to save me. No one will say you are your savior. You're looking at them in the mirror, but someone who's going to guide you. Again, what did I say? A coach of 7 years. What would I have known? What would I have done differently or told the guy who started out in 2018, right? December 2018. Get in the DMs and watch your emotions. Like,
mm,
so, I mean, your guy, like, I'll go out and say this. I've been in many coaching programs, and all encompassing, your guys' program is all encompassing with the things that I needed and that I believe every coach needs, which are these foundations in business to get you to 0 to 10K. And then obviously off from there, I mean, I hit, 20K and beyond. And yeah, I mean, absolutely do not give up if you know you're meant for this.
yeah.
Yeah.
Amazing. I absolutely love that. And yeah, Tyson's absolutely crushing right now. And before we started this call, we were talking about his next chapter, which is, now he has to create these systems now to, now
Mhm.
these other stuff, right? Where it's like the
Yeah.
next video that
Yeah.
for sure, the next video that you and I are gonna do is when you hit 50K a month, right? It's just all about what we talked about
You
off the
already
call.
knew my number, dude. You already knew the number. Seriously, you already knew the number.
Yeah, because it's like
Yeah.
you're like, even though you and I are different a lot of ways, we
Hmm.
are similar in a lot of areas. So it's like when I talk to you, I can see a reflection of me when I was like in that grind stage.
Hmm.
So I do believe that in a couple months for sure, it's like you will be at 50K, right? It's because
Yeah,
as
for sure.
crazy as this sounds, right? And when someone told me this, Tyson doesn't know I'm gonna say this to him, but for the people that are watching this, like 0 to 10K is hard. But honestly, I can tell you right now, 10 to 50K is way easier than 0 to 10K. Right?
Oh,
Right
that's
now, when
amazing.
you hit 20, that's
Yeah.
crazy, right? Because it's
Yeah.
just about doubling input, right? We talked about ads, right?
We talked about that
So we
even.
just run
Okay.
more ads. That's going to get you more calls booked, right? When you're
Yeah.
setting these appointments, eventually you're not going to be able to handle them. So just hiring a setter, right? These are all things
Mhm.
that's like,
Yeah.
where I tell coaches, like, it's like, believe it or not, like, it's a lot easier. It really, really is. Because like right now, what's the
Mhm.
constraint is you need to run more ads. That's pretty much all it
Yeah.
is. If you keep doing what you're doing with ads, you will therefore get more appointments, and then therefore you will get more clients.
Mhm.
That's just a fact. So
Mhm.
that's a little tidbit, but Tyson, I'm proud of you, bro. This for those of you guys that are watching
Thank you.
this, keep following his journey. And yeah, if you need help implementing any of this into your coaching business, check the link down below. Any final words, Tyson, before I end this?
Man, I think I've said it today. You know what I mean? It's man, it has been an absolute journey, not only a strategical one with you, but a spiritual one as well, is because making money to me and this in business is also spiritual, and in a non-religious sense. But yeah, it's been an incredible journey. And one thing, okay, I didn't mention is that, like, the community and the support and just everything that's readily available for you and that you need is all there in the
Hmm.
community. I'll call them modules, but it's just quick, easy, digestible because AJ is not a guy who's long and drawn out. He's like so quick and to the point. And so, like, you're not watching all these fucking videos for hours. And it's like, okay, here's a 3 minute one. This is how you run that. Here's a 12 minute one. This is how you do that. Like, it, very responsive. And like, if I need to know how to run an ad to do X, Y, and Z, I can find that right now and I can do it and run it. I mean, I can literally do anything I need to do in the group. Yeah, it's like, it's honestly, it's so all encompassing. It's insane. Truly. That's how I feel because yeah, anybody who's like, whether you're starting your journey, you've been in it however long. I was in it for 6 years, right? It's almost seven at the point where I met him. Uh, it's everything you're gonna need, especially because you've got to understand the DMs. You've got to understand sales. You have to, like the content. Yeah, yeah, it's good, but man, you got to understand those things. You're gonna get it in this program.
There you go. All right, Tyson. Well, I appreciate you. The next video will
Thanks,
be
man.
part two of 50K. All right, everyone watching this. Peace out.
See you guys.